Hello everyone, today I'm watching Pre-Industrial Surgeries by Salmonella. Without any further ado, let's get into it.
Hey kids, had a bad day? Well, could be worse. You could be living in a world without modern anesthetic. Today, we'll be talking about some surgical procedures carried out long before the...
Yeah, I do have to wonder, in pre-industrial surgeries, how did they knock people out? Did they knock people out? Because I can't imagine doing a surgery on someone who's awake. I'm sure it happened, but I feel like you could at least just knock them out. So they're just unconscious.
development of medicine as we know it today. Now, once you go back a certain distance, the line between operation and mutilation is pretty thin. So, for our purposes, surgery refers to any bodily manipulation carried out with the intent of fixing some injury or illness. And away
The thing to focus on there is fixing, not trying to torture someone.
we go. The very first surgery that we have historical evidence for dates as far back as 6500 BC. It's called trepanning, which is a nice word for carving someone's frickin' skull open using nothing but a rock. Maybe a rock on a stick if you were lucky. In all seriousness though, you can see that a good deal of care went into the procedure, which lets us know that this isn't just the result of random injury. Many skulls even showed signs of procedure, which...
Look at this one in the top. Yeah, this definitely wasn't just random. They actually put some planning into it. I wonder if it worked. Probably not.
Which lets us know that this isn't just the result of random injury. Many skulls even showed signs of healing around the holes, meaning plenty of the people who underwent this whole thing just got up and went about their day afterwards. Alright, hold on, you say.
And they probably died of infection, because there was no way for them to clean the wound and stop the blood loss. I'm sure that most of those people either died of blood loss or infection. I refuse to believe otherwise.
This all sounds guano insane. No way this was that common of an occurrence. Well, friend, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you should know that if you give human beings the benefit of the doubt, chances are they'll prove you wrong. In fact, so far, over 1,500 trepanned skulls have been dug up all across the globe, from Europe to China and even the Americas. This means that between 5 and 10% of all skulls that we've found from the Neolithic period have had at least one man-made hole scraped into them. To put it this way, based on that data, there's a greater probability of someone born in the late Stone Age having their brain matter exposed by some shaman with a chunk of flint than someone born in the USA being a redhead. To this day, nobody really knows why this was such a common practice, but most theories tend to revolve around the idea of releasing some kind of dark supernatural force from the patient. Man, I'm getting real sick of all these evil entities infecting our minds and bodies. You can say that again. I tell you, I need these demons like I need a hole in the head. No, wait. Fast forward to 600 BC.
So I'm starting to think that maybe it wasn't even a medical procedure. It was probably just some, I don't know. People did a lot of weird stuff back then. Let's be honest, they weren't very smart. They probably... I mean, people believed in fucking witches in the past. They believed in, like... I don't know, they just believed in a lot of weird stuff.
Over in India, there lived a guy called Maharshi Susruta. Now, this guy was a medical mastermind. He wrote a treatise known as Susruta Samhita, which described countless different conditions, treatments, and yes, even surgeries. One of which is the first recorded instance of rhinoplasty. That means nose job. A hornbill's a type of bird. I'm here too. Anyway, here's how it's done according to Susruta. First, you get them plastered, obviously. Second, you use a leaf.
I guess that is how you could put them on some type of, like, anesthesia, I guess. I mean, obviously, it's not really going to stop the pain, but if they're drunk, it's going to be a little easier, I would imagine.
Measure out the part of the...
I still think it would just be way easier to just completely knock them out, but whatever.
the nose you want fixed. Then, you use the leaf to cut off a flap of skin from the cheek or forehead of the patient. This part's important though. You gotta remember to leave a little piece of it still attached. Otherwise, you just got a chunk of dirty dead face meat on your hands. Now, wherever you're looking to stick the new flesh on, you rub that part raw with a knife. Also, you're gonna want to stick 2 plant stalks in their nostrils so their nose keeps its proper shape. Slap the skin on, suture it, dust it with licorice powder for some reason, and cover it with cotton. Sesame oil should be regularly applied until the skin is fully healed. If you're like me, I already do that by default, so it shouldn't be an issue. Finally, at long last, your sniffer is reborn. Don't worry, you still look like a freak. Just slightly less so. Moving on, our next surgery took place in 10th century Spain on Sancho I of Leon, otherwise known as Sancho the Fat. Now, normally back in the day, having some meat on your bones was a sign of wealth and
his right side above his hip looked really messed up. I'm guessing that's where the surgery happened. You know, surgery.
Power and all that, but this guy was like TLC documentary tier, to the point where he could hardly function as a human being. So his constituents said, "Greetings, your thickness."
So he was basically...
yeah, you can't be king anymore on account
yeah,
of...
he was basically a waste of
breaking
space.
every horse we give you, and nobody wants to wash between your accordion-like neck folds no more. After his adipose got him deposed, Sancho decided to seek medical help for his condition, under the oversight of well-reputed physician Hasdai ibn Shaprut, which is an anagram for paintbrush aids. Now, if there's one thing that medieval man understood, it's practicality. Lap band, gastric bypass, belly balloon, these all exist to help people who don't have the self-control to stop eating so much on their own. But Dr. Shaprut didn't believe in beating around the bush. He said, well, why don't we just stop the patient from shoving food into his own greasy maw in the first place, and decide...
That is the best advice he could probably give. Just stop eating so goddamn much.
Decided to just up and stitch the dude's lips together. After the operation,
Not
the
like
only
that.
nutrients that Sancho received came through a straw, in the form of a mixture known as thoriaca, which was a complex blend of several herbs, fruits, and seeds, including opium. It was basically the closest thing you could find to lean at the time, and lean he became,
it's basically
losing
drugs.
around half his weight before ascending to the throne once more. So this is the part of the video where I pander to the desires of the audience. If there's one thing I know you internet people can't get enough of, it's things going inside people's eyeballs. Let's talk about cataract surgery. The art of dealing with people's clouded lenses has been around for millennia, believe it or not. That Susruta guy
there's no
from
fucking
earlier
way.
actually talked about the most common procedure for cataracts for most of civilized history, which is known as the couching method. Couching is done by taking a sharp object.
Oh, fuck no. I watched a video on lobotomy. I might post that video as well soon because I still haven't, even though I recorded it like 2 months ago. I've seen an ice pick being stuck through people's eyes, and that looked horrible. There's no way this would work, right?
Like a needle or a thorn, and ever so gently stabbing their eye hole at weird angles until the lens moves out of the way. No lasers, no sedatives, no paralytics, just a rusty old pin and some elbow grease, the way God intended.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you'll get rid of the cataract, but you'll probably also lose your eye within less than a week after this.
The majority of the time, this operation didn't work, usually just damaging the already blind eye irreparably. Shocker, right? And even if it did go as planned, you still, didn't have a lens in your eye, so you essentially went from, I can't tell if I'm dead or not, to, ah yes, it is quite yellow out today. By God. Something moved somewhere. A slightly more refined version of this operation is the suction method, which dates back to at least the 10th century AD, if not older. This procedure is described as requiring, quote, a large incision in the eye, a hollow needle, and an assistant with an extraordinary lung capacity. Though this reads like a setup to the...
Is he gonna... Oh no, don't tell me he's actually gonna suck it out like through a straw.
The world's most horrifying party trick. It's actually the bare minimum number of tools needed to completely extract the lens from the eye. In case you didn't pick up on how, here's a diagram. This method generally saw a greater success rate and fewer complications than its non-extracting counterpart. So hopefully you can sleep well tonight knowing that the number of human beings who have sucked a piece of somebody's living eyeball through a straw is above 0. Anywho, let's all just be thankful that we live in an era where procedures like these are a thing of the
Yeah,
past.
thank God
Now
we have
remember,
actual
kids, even though the
surgery.
surgeries I described here do sound pretty
Not
easy
whatever
to
the fuck
pull
this
off,
is supposed to
please
be.
don't try them at home. But if you do, please put it on the live leak afterwards. But you know what you can do at home? Learn
Okay. Yeah, pre-industrial surgeries were... it wasn't really a surgery, it was more just mutilation. Like he stated earlier in the video. It was really just messing up people's bodies and hoping it would fix them. Except it didn't most of the time. It just made things worse. Yeah. Well, like and subscribe, comment. Link to my Discord server is down in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video.